It's winter solstice.
It's summer solstice.
I love
Happy
that.
solstice.
Happy solstice to you too. So did you look up, like, I'm curious, at your latitude, at your latitude, what is your sunrise and sunset? Did you think to look that up?
No.
I'm just curious, how many hours is it really? So it's the longest day of the year for you in the Southern Hemisphere. And I think I looked up once that I want to say Melbourne is at like the 37-degree latitude.
I actually don't know what our latitude is.
I think we talked about that once and I looked it up. And early on in this whole month. And then ours is, we're at about the 41st parallel. Yeah. So we're only like 4 degrees off of being, the same distance between the pole and the equator. So our sunrise and sunset, I'm looking here at my phone, sunrise, this was today, is about 7:20 in the morning, and sunset is 4:30 in the afternoon. Yeah.
Oh,
so
gosh, that's early.
That's 9 hours. 9 hours of daylight.
Wow. Yeah, we don't ever have a sunset that early. Wow.
Not even in December?
I think our shortest day would be something like 7 a.m. sunrise, around about to sunset 6 p.m. That would be our shortest day.
So that 4 degrees
today
makes a difference then, because you're 4 degrees closer to the equator. That's interesting how big of a difference that 4 degrees of latitude makes.
Yeah, because dark at 4:30 in the afternoon is a very foreign concept for us.
Sunset. So it's actually dark by 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so early.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I haven't been taking note of the time because we're not on a schedule at the moment, really, with school or anything.
Yeah.
That's when I tend to notice those things more. At about 10 p.m. last night, we went down to the beach for a little night walk, which was really lovely. And the astronomy club was out looking at stars.
Well, isn't there a thing right now where you have the moon, Jupiter, and Saturn, like stuff's all lined up? Isn't there a deal right now?
Yeah, there's some convergence, 1 in 800-year event.
Yeah.
So they're telling us about that. And also the guy who was telling us about that was telling us about finding dinosaur fossils, that he'd found some prehistoric fish mouth that is now in the Melbourne Museum with his name on it. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
So, yeah, interesting things to find around here.
Yeah.
On the way down, though, what I like, what's kind of fun around this time of year is the Christmas lights, everyone's houses with all the flashing lights and
the inflatables.
It's pretty funny. The giant blow-up Santa.
I mean, this is really mean, but I don't live in a neighborhood like that, but I don't care for the whole inflatable thing, either for Christmas or Halloween. I think it's just tacky. I'd be like out there with my knitting needles. No, I would not. I would never, but I would be. I would have the impulse, even though I would never do it.
Well, there is a giant Christmas ball. So one house, that's all they did was put up this giant blow-up ball, but now it's flat. I don't know if someone popped it. It's up pretty high, so now it's just kind of like this.
Was it like supposed to be like a snow globe kind of thing?
It's a giant green, like a Christmas tree ball decoration.
An ornament, yeah. Okay.
An ornament.
And now it's all flat in their yard.
It's just kind of drooping there now. Yeah.
That's a little sad.
But the house that went all out for Halloween, that's the time that we moved here, was around Halloween, so I call it the haunted house. Now it's the Christmas house. They've gone all out for Christmas as well. It's pretty crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It's fun. It just adds to the festive feeling when you see all that happening.
Yeah. That's great. Okay, so remember, was it yesterday? Was it just yesterday that we talked about the food and everything? Okay, so I told you about the Christmas bread that my mom would make that had the brown sugar and the nuts and the like icing, and it was in the wreath, and how I love that so much. And we had it when my daughter was born. Remember I told you about all that? So my mom came over today, just briefly, of course, wearing her mask and all that, because we're still struggling with all that. Anyway, she came over briefly to bring us, because we usually get together for Solstice. That's kind of our thing, because she would go to my sister's, go somewhere, other places and other relatives for Christmas. And so we decided, rather than like competing for time at Christmas, we would just have our gathering with her at Solstice. And that's when we would,
Nice.
have the cheese fondue and play the board games and knit and drink a little wine. And, so obviously we're not doing that this year, but she did pop over briefly to bring us the gifts that she had for us. Oh. And she brought me one of those. She baked me one of those.
You got Solstice bread.
She watched the podcast and she was like, oh, and so she made me one. It's on my counter. I'll put it on my Instagram. I was like, oh, Mom, it's so sweet. I'm going to eat that. I might share. I'll share. But isn't that sweet? She showed up with that.
Yeah, that's lovely. Nice. Oh,
I know.
Well, I asked in November for people to share various traditions, December traditions. One Ravelry wrote to me and told me about Cheestus. They celebrate Cheestus, all the cheese things today. So they each year, I think it kind of varies a bit, but her and a group of local friends created a Cheestus event to celebrate on the 21st, which I think is wonderful.
It is.
And I think I'll be joining them too with my own little version. And you with your cheese fondue.
Yeah.
Be able to celebrate Cheestus too.
So my daughter just popped in and brought it.
Oh, she brought it. Oh.
Look.
Oh, it's so lovely.
I know.
That's
Isn't
beautiful
that
with the
wonderful?
cherries.
I know. It's very artistic. And of course, this is like that glazed candied fruit stuff that's in the, that you make with fruit cake. And she knows I don't care for walnuts very much. So she makes it, she doesn't either. So that's convenient, but she makes it with pecans instead.
Oh, yum. Yum.
Oh, I can smell it. She shouldn't have brought it here on my desk now. I'll be like, ooh. Isn't it lovely?
It must be afternoon tea time there for you.
Yes. And I have my peppermint tea. I could have a little slice of that. Thank you, dear. She's taking it away now. So I'm not tempted to open it, like just have a little pinch, just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Lovely.
So I put a link in your Ravelry group just before we met here. I put a link there, and I'll put a link, the same link down below here in the video description if people are not able to use Ravelry. But it was just a link that I found from Reader's Digest, which is an American magazine company. And it was a link about solstice traditions around the world and how different countries and different people celebrate solstice. And I just,
great.
I thought it was interesting. Some of the different festivals that happen, obviously, I don't know if you know about the one at Stonehenge, that's kind of a big deal. So that's not happening this year, but there are some other things around the world that go on. I read, now I forget which country it was, but there's one country that does these little lanterns. They do the little paper bag lanterns with the teeny little votive candles in there and the paper bags, and they make like a labyrinth maze with the.
Is that in Germany? Because we used to do that with Felix's school when he went to the Waldorf Steiner school. We would do a lantern walk for winter solstice, not summer. So we'd have a winter festival on the 21st of June, and that the kids would make lanterns, and each year that they got older it would be a more intricate lantern. So then they'd do a walk, a labyrinth walk, and then at the end would be a big bonfire, and we would all stand around and have soup and watch them walk to the bonfire. So that's, I wonder if it is a German tradition, the labyrinth walk.
It's European somewhere, but I don't recall reading that it was in Germany, but maybe it was. I read several, and I just may be forgetting now. But I put the link both in your Ravelry group for today, and then I'll put it in the video description here down below. So
excellent.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. Well, what else did we used to do in winter? Over the past few years, there's a group called the Village Festival, and they put on a couple of really big festival events, and it's really quirky and kind of kooky sideshow style village events, really wonderful. And so the last few years they've done for winter a winter village festival event for Solstice.
So is it like a carnival, kind of
carnival, kooky, really artistic, a big bonfire, lots of really interesting things. One year I had a big knitting project and had during the day, because it ran during the day and then the night, people would come and just add a few stitches to a giant scarf, which I had made from sewing together a whole lot of knitting pieces that I had from actually from Andy's grandmother when she was in her final years. All she did was just kind of knit these crazy shaped pieces. And because she had been such an accomplished knitter all her life. And, so I sewed them all together and made a big long tube and then put circular needles on it so people could just keep knitting and adding onto it through the day.
Right.
And then at the bonfire, there was an opera singer on stilts or like some sort of giant
costume.
My gosh. And so then she had the big scarf, like she was wearing it as part of her costume during that performance piece. Such a wonderful event.
That's fun.
So like really freezing, but everyone out there and lots of stalls selling hot soup and hot drinks and, warm things and, really lovely.
That's fun. That's so much fun.
We didn't have it this year though because COVID, but hopefully
but I remember
next year.
if we had snow, I remember you can make little snowballs and then pile them up like little mini pyramids or little mini igloos along the sidewalk and then put a candle inside, and then the light shines through the little cracks where the snowballs are. So if you just make a little snowball cylinder or a little pile and then put the candle in there.
That'd be
leave it open at the top, obviously, so you don't douse your own candle with melted snow. But just these little cylinders of snowballs, and then it looked really neat. Like the little luminary, And that's always fun to do in winter, even if it's not solstice. Or just, it's fun to do. Like if you're in a not COVID year, if you were having visitors coming, or someone company during the winter or guests coming to your house, and to do that along the sidewalk as a greeting, that's fun.
So for summer solstice, because it is near Christmas time, it does, like you have your family celebration. Sometimes it kind of merges into an alternate Christmas, or just basically a reason to get together as family and eat nice things and enjoy. A few years ago, I lived in a community, with a large group of people. We would celebrate solstice together and then all go off to our families for Christmas. And that was always really fun. It was a lot about the kids, creating a fun event for the kids, but also just about feasting and gathering together and enjoying each other's company. And so we would create a massive circle that was like a wreath on the floor of gum leaves and flowers and little cherries hidden and chocolates and things to nibble on. And so part of it would be sitting around that circle and just connecting and chatting, but
visiting.
Also having a present ceremony. So someone would dress up as Father Sun with all like yellow and red and a big sun hat, and with like kind of play percussion instruments to summons Father Sun, and he would come in and do some silly things, and then we'd give each other a gift. We'd do a Kris Kringle, so you'd like get one name out of the hat and buy a gift for that person, and so everyone would get a gift. And
the Secret Santa exchange.
So that was
I love holidays like that, where it's just all about hanging out and there's no great big expectations or obligations, and it's just all about being together and visiting, and that's why I like
Yeah.
it, when we just have a long weekend and we can just play board games and eat our favorite foods and just,
Hang out. Yeah.
just hang out
Yeah.
with your, yeah, that's my favorite.
Mm.
So speaking of presents.
Oh, our day present,
Yes.
our daily present. What have you got today?
Oh, you know what? I'm not very prepared. Okay, 21. I have a winter scene. Now my camera's in a different place, so I don't know if you can see that. There we go.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah, so the darkest night. That's a very apt scene for Solstice.
Yes, it is. Ooh. And we're back to number 1.
Ooh.
Number 1, which is very dark. Yeah, because it's at the very beginning. The very beginning and the very end are this beautiful, deep. I won't say it's black, but it is a very charcoal with some tones. I don't know if you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's it called? Let's see. It's called Magnesium. So I love that. I love them all.
Yeah, they're all beautiful. Oh, I have to see mine now. Day 21.
Yep.
And a bit of paper. Fluorite. Fluorite. Am I saying that correctly? Fluorite.
Fluorite. Yeah.
Fluorite. Yeah.
I don't know what color that. I mean, I've heard of that, but I don't know what to expect. I don't know what color that would be. You think you maybe know? Ooh. I wasn't expecting that. That's lovely. Of course, I love purple. Wow, that's almost like a lavender.
Yeah, so lighter. I have to go hang it with the others. So, yeah, it's quite, it's a lot pinker than the day before. That's lovely. Keep looking over and starting to think about what I might make with these. I haven't decided yet, but, just seeing them hanging there every day.
Yeah, it's fun to think about, sure.
Yeah. Sure. So today I wore my festive crochet
necklace, your rose necklace.
Yeah, that my aunt made for me. So it's Irish crochet.
Wow.
It's got this lovely little dangly flower
in the back. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Made me 2, actually. She made me a white one as well with slightly different flowers.
Have you tried to make one?
No, I don't really crochet, so no, I haven't.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I can do the rudimentary stitches, but nothing like that,
Yeah, and they're so tiny, the stitches. You must use a really small hook to make these. And then they're sewn together to join them into a necklace. Yeah, so I feel pretty special when I wear this, knowing that my auntie made it for me.
Yeah, that's lovely. Okay.
I was going to ask you about your squares. Have you knit any more squares?
Well, I think I might have been working on this one that's blocking. I think it's dry now. I can probably take it off. This is the yellow influences it. You can't really tell, but it's that dusty rose colored one. That was called, let's see, what was it called? Sedimentary, which I don't really know that does it justice, except for in the Colorado hills, or you see those red, the red dirt. I guess it could kind of look like that. But that's dry, so I need to move that. And I'm working on one that's in the dining room, actually. I was knitting last night while my daughter and I were playing chess. I was knitting while we were, so I have that in progress. And yes, I have been knitting on them, but I'm not caught up yet.
Not up to day 21? Haven't done 21 squares?
Not yet. I think I'm on day 18.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I think I'm on 17 or 18 at the moment. I'll have to look. What I need to do is take a picture of all the ones I have so far in the stack. I'll do that this afternoon.
Well, I'm on sleeve 1. Nearly finished sleeve 1.
You finished the bottom. Oh gosh, you've done a lot. Wow. You've done a lot since I saw you. It was only we
I
took
was
yesterday
just starting
off,
the
but
lace on the bottom last time. So yes,
you must have
hopefully
had
I will
some
have this finished to wear on the podcast before Advent is over.
Or will they be 3/4 sleeve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
that's lovely. I don't know why I knit long sleeves. I shouldn't, because I always end up doing that anyway. You know.
Yeah, I like having them either there or, I mean, long is good when it's cold outside, but yeah, for a light summer top, this is good. Well, cool.
That's wonderful.
Well, I hope you have a lovely solstice tomorrow, because we'll meet when it's actually your solstice, and we'll enjoy our longer stay here.
All right. See you tomorrow then.
See you tomorrow.